I'm still not sure why you were leaving here under the circumstances that you did. You gave this notice saying that you're going to be leaving in 30 to 90 days, and you gave that notice when, ma'am?
I gave it to her at the beginning of February.
Beginning of February, so you knew you were going to be gone in a month, roughly.
Roughly.
And yet you're leaving at 2 in the morning.
We were supposed to be into that house on the 1st. We were trying to get into the house, trying to get everything packed. We had 5 episodes where we had to return the U-Haul, try to get back, go rent the U-Haul.
I still don't understand why you were doing this at 2 in the morning.
Trying to take and get into the house.
Why at 2 in the morning? You knew ahead of time you were going to be moving into the new house, right?
She wanted us to get out of there as soon as possible. We were trying to get out, trying to get into the house, trying to get everything out as quickly as we can.
But people don't do it at 2 in the morning. My sense is you were being forced out.
Basically, we were. She told us we had to be out.
But you wanted to leave. It was your decision to get a new house.
And I told her within 30 to 90 days we would be out. Section 8 said we had to be out exactly in 30 days. Our 30 days was up on the 3rd, because that's when my rent was due. It was on the 3rd of every month.
So why didn't you, like, move a week before so you would have had time to do this orderly?
We were trying to, but the house wasn't ready.
How did this happen?
It just popped up out of the ground.
By itself?
They do pop up.
Not like this. They don't. This thing is like sticking up in the air.
There's a lot of kids in the neighborhood.
Okay, so
my
when
grandson's never outside.
Your what?
My grandson was never outside. It's wintertime.
Yeah, people aren't outside in the wintertime in Michigan. How did this hole get in the wall?
That's the one from wall.
Is that true?
No, I don't believe so. There were holes like this size that went from room to room, through closets, through the regular walls, the front wall.
Was there
Only while ran the cable line.
through here too?
Yes.
Was there cable in the house before she moved in?
Yes.
And the lines were bad, so they replaced the lines. That's why they ran.
How did this get damaged?
It cracked when my husband fell against it and hit it with his elbow.
How did your husband fall?
He's got 2 bad knees.
And he fell in such a way that his elbow
He fell
cracked.
backwards, tripping over a box.
What about this?
That's the cat throw up on the carpet.
Cat throw up on the carpet? What is this? Is that what that is?
I have no clue what that is.
So it could be cat throw up.
Could be, but not that I know, because the cats that were in the house were removed earlier in the day.
This is more the.
That's the where the dog tore the carpet up between the 2 rooms.
This is taken where?
That's the laundry room. The cat or dog feces on the floor there.
Is that what this is, ma'am?
Probably from the cat.
You didn't clean this up?
From the dog. I didn't know it was there.
How could you not?
I did not go back in. My son was the last one to leave the house.
Same picture?
Yes.
What am I looking at here?
All the garbage that they left in the one cabinet.
All right, this is the floor in that cabinet, or what is this?
Yeah, that's just all the garbage that they had left in the cabinet.
What am I looking at here, ma'am?
The couple pieces of little trash that fell out of the trash can.
All right, you can sit down.
Ah, it's the black mold defense. So the tenant is really blaming her fish tank for the problems. I'm not so sure the judge is going to buy this animal kind of defense. But for the plaintiff, although the plaintiff has pictures, are they enough evidence to win? Let's see what the judge says.
I think you were suing for rent for February, correct?
No, it was rent for March.
For March? Why March? She gave you notice 30 days ahead of time that she was going to leave like she was supposed to according to the lease, and she left March 3rd.
But I wasn't aware of when she left because I never heard anything from her, and the letter that I received from Section 8 stated that unless she vacated the property by February 28th, she was responsible for the full rent.
But that's between you and Section 8.
No, Section 8 said they were not going to pay anything past February. So
Right.
when I had talked to her, I said, You have to be out by the 1st of the month, because they're not paying any more rent.
She was out by March 3rd, pretty close.
But I wasn't aware of anything until I went there on the 10th.
But that's not her fault. The lease says that she had to give 30 days' notice. She basically gave 30 days' notice.
Correct.
She was in a couple days beyond the 30-day period, but not much. I mean, I find that that's substantial compliance. In other words, it's close enough. Now, if you didn't know that she was out in the 30 days, well, you know what? That's your responsibility to figure that out. You knew that she was going to be out by the end of February, the beginning of March. It's your responsibility to go over there and find out when she's not there.
She told me she would call me when they left.
Well, but it's, you know,
That's fine.
you're the landlord, so you know it's incumbent upon you to find out when your tenant leaves the property. So she's not responsible to pay rent for the month of February. Wish I had that sheet here, but I don't. The problem you have with this is there's nothing really itemized very well in terms of what you did to clean this property. You have a whole lot of receipts here for different things that you bought. And you have just a blanket fee of, I think, $900 that you paid for labor.
Yes.
But there's no one here to testify as to what was actually paid and what was actually done. It's just $900. And the problem you have here, ma'am, is that this place was very dirty when you left. There's no question about it. Okay, and even you have admitted to some of this. You can't leave the property in this type of condition when you
We went back
leave.
to clean it up, but she, no, when I went to go clean it up, we were already told it by her cousin next door, it was already cleaned up. Because we were
Well-
gonna go clean it up as soon as we got everything situated in the new house. We were going over there, took us 24 hours to get everything situated in the new house. And then we were gonna go over there and get everything cleaned up, and it was already done.
But it should have been done before you left, okay? But when you leave that house doesn't have to be in perfect condition or immaculate condition, but it can't be in the condition that you left it.
I understand.
Okay, you left it in a far dirtier condition than it should have been. The problem I have from you, ma'am, is I don't really have a good idea as to how much you actually paid to clean that up. And some of the things that you're asking for, you're not entitled to get. Some of this is just wear and tear on the house. Some of this stuff is stuff that is not her fault. Like I think the holes in the wall probably were attributable to WOW, which means she's not responsible for that. You had that problem with some of the, I think, brick or cinder blocks on the property. She's not responsible for that. Some of this stuff, I think, is just natural wear and tear that she's not responsible for. And I'm in a very, very bad position to determine which is which here because I wasn't there. All I have are some pictures and some receipts and something that tells me that the house was in bad condition and something needed to be done to fix it up, but I don't know how much. We'll do it this way. You're definitely entitled to $1,141.14 for the water bill. Even you admitted that you owe that. I will allow $500 for labor to fix up the property. If I might have allowed more if you would have had someone here to testify as to what he or she actually did to clean the property and what exactly was wrong with the property in terms of the cleaning. But you don't have that one, or you don't have anyone there like that.
My son was there, and he was there when I had the handyman come. The days I paid him, he's seen everything from the day I went in the house to what all needed to be done. And
But I need the handyman
okay,
because he's the one that got paid. So I'm going to allow $500 just because based upon what I'm seeing here, that I think is a reasonable fee to be paid. It's probably a little bit low, quite honestly, but without the handyman here, that's about as high as I'm willing to go. And that's going to be a total of $1,641.14. You had a security deposit, I think, of $700, correct?
yes.
So we'll subtract that out. which leaves a balance of $941.14. That's what I will allow, plus court costs. And I'll add cost of $65 filing fee and a $23 service fee, which will bring the total amount of the judgment to $1,029.14. That's what you need to pay, ma'am. You know, a couple of things to learn from this is you need to get that checklist signed, both of you, if you're going to be renting property, because it gives the court a baseline to deal with if there's a dispute such as this as to whether or not there were any problems with the property. That was never done. So I really don't know the condition of the property when you first moved in. If that checklist had been done, I would have had something to go by, but I don't have that. Secondly, if you ever are in a position, ma'am, where you have to pay someone to clean the property, it would be a good idea to have an exact itemization of what you paid and exactly for what, and have the person here to testify as to what exactly he or she did.
I did provide you with
I'm sorry, what?
$494.77 worth of receipts for all of the materials that I had to purchase for the home.
Well, you know, and I don't know exactly for what those materials were used for. You have a whole lot of receipts here, it's true. Some of that stuff, you know, I think is natural wear and tear. Some of the stuff might not be, but again, it's difficult for me to tell what is what. So I'm just going to leave it at the blanket amount of $500 as I indicated. Ma'am, you got to clean up the property before you leave in the future. You can't leave the house in the condition that it was in this case. You can't do that. That's your obligation as the tenant to make sure that the property is in a reasonably clean state, and it wasn't in this case, not even close to that. All right, let me return the documents to everyone. $1,029.14.
The judge says documents, and the documents better be specific. Otherwise, plaintiff is not going to get everything she wants. Oh, and by the way, tenants, if you leave your place, make sure it's clean. If you find that you are involved in a dispute that you can't resolve, small claims court may be the answer. Thanks for watching Case Closed. I'm Charlie Langton.